Hello and welcome to Fumble Folks. I'm Ryan and I'm currently running The Rogues Gallery, a 5th ed adventure in Waterdeep about 10 years after the fall of the Thieves Guild. So, a little bit of a recap of what's going on so far. We have 4 players, one of which you may recognise from RollQuests. We have Bree joining us, who is playing Ulsanna, the Shadowkai Elf. A masterful assassin, loves to sleuth in the shadows, use the rooftops and take out her targets quietly. But not the best social butterfly, shall we say, having spent so long in the Shadowfell. We also have Cheery Merryfellow, a tiefling, always has a bit of a plan, knows what's going on, and has a few tricks up his sleeves, though down to one sleeve at the moment after he lost an arm, so we'll see how things go with that, shall we? We then have Dice, a goblin who has a fondness for the things that are shiny. Not too bothered about how expensive it is, so long as it's got a little bit of a tinkle and a shine to it, she'll nab it out of your pocket. She's very quick, very quiet, knows what she's doing, but she does like to cause some chaos, both for the enemy and a lot of the time for the party too. We also have Gillian, who, being a local girl, is very good at hiding amongst the crowd. People don't really notice her so much, always overlooked, which gives her the perfect chance to sleuth in, find information, listen in, and pick out those secrets that everyone has, then bring them back to the rest of the party. So, the players so far at the moment have the Underdark Inn, a tavern/inn, several rooms, along with their own entourage of dragonborn bouncers and bodyguards, thanks to the unfortunately demised Torrin. They have also dealt with a few gangs already. Their opening night they had to deal with the White Fang, a group of orcs and goblins who tend to use the rougher methods of doing their dirty work. A little bit of drug trade, a little bit of money laundering, and currently they've made some enemies with the Underdark, or the Ravens as the players call themselves. They have also dealt with, at the moment, the Rustbeards, though one brother of the Free still remains. The clan being 3 brothers who brought together a bunch of dwarves to run their own gang, 2 of which, one has died at the hands of the players, the other had a chance to leave and go for safer places knowing that their gang was being targeted. But one brother remains in the docks and he's building his forces ready to step out and try and expand things once more. They have also dealt with the Nameless, a more mysterious gang, wearing masks, tend not to use their true names, and they like to work from the shadows, usually hiring other people rather than use their own gang members. Fortunately, the players appear to have made some allies with this gang, though only the one of the few allies they have at the moment. So, currently we are moving into where they have a bit of a ship battle going on. They have a friend, Captain Black, who is actually the original founder of the Nameless, they have recently discovered, who is being attacked by a Captain Vol, though the reason why may be caused by the players, but I'm certain we'll learn a little more as things go on. So, you're about to see some excitement, lots of chaos, as we begin at the docks and continue to the ship, as we see how the players fare at ship-to-ship combat, shall we? Once again, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoy. If you get a chance, go check out RollQuests, and if you don't mind, pop a like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you've got any questions. You have a wonderful day, and ta-ta for now. Toodaloo! Okay, I think we should then begin, of course, with a little recap of what happened last week, because that'll bring us nicely into the chaos of today. Because, damn, it's going to be a little bit nuts. Who would like to give the debrief?
Ulsanna fucked up.
Not just Ulsanna.
I think we all fucked up.
Mostly Dice.
We'll start
I
with.
can't argue with that.
We went clothes shopping for free at the tailors.
Mm-hmm.
We've all got clothes on order.
Oh yeah, that guy was fabulous.
Cheery met Quick Hands, who is a scary motherfucker, and we're not going to mess with him.
Yeah.
And told him about Valkyr, what's his face, coming up from the City of the Dead, which Quick Hand wasn't happy about because he had to do something about it, which pleased Cheery immensely. So he's now roped somebody better into the fight. And then we went and watched robbery at the docks.
Yes.
We robbed the robbers and it was going fine until we decided to sort the plan a bit more.
Well, A bit greedy.
Little bit
Dice
greedy.
went to see the captain of the ship.
Well, he
Battered
was
and
the
bruised.
person-
Yeah, that was. It was going wrong once Dice showed her face to the first mate
Goliath.
of the ship.
Mm.
Yeah, the Goliath, because pink-haired goblins aren't that rare.
Mm.
But then when Cheery sent Dice back in with no real plan other than let's see if we can frame the White Fang for it, having played hide the boxes in the White Fang cellar.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That was scary.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, oh yeah, here's one big ore come down. Fuck, we didn't see you. Here's the big bad ore come down. It's like, fuck. Any of them see me, I am dead. I'm just like, ah. It's like, please don't see me, please don't see me.
Yeah, and then the captain, Captain Vol,
Mhm.
who is not a furry mammal,
Yeah.
he didn't buy Dice's story for a minute. Dice escaped with her life just.
Oh yeah.
Out the back window of the captain's quarters.
Yes. While flipping the bird.
Yep.
And holding in my guts.
Basically what she did.
Yeah. It could have gone so horribly wrong. It
Yeah.
kind of did.
It could have
And
gone so
Ulsanna
many.
stayed to watch through her bird. The captain.
Yeah, which, you know, this is the reason why you don't get a second-hand bird. Get your own damn bird. So...
If you're gonna get one new.
Yeah.
Yeah. So turns
Not
out...
nearly new.
Mr. Black used
Second-hand familiars, yeah.
to spy on this captain.
Captain Vol.
And now he's going to go and kill Mr. Black. And
Yes.
all through.
Yes, the ship of Captain Vol has started to pull away from the dock. We're making its beeline towards the Silver Serpent, the large ship owned by Captain Black. As if you remember, as it did so, the Captain Vol, in fact no, the first mate of the Golden Chimera, blew a horn that signalled to the other 6 ships that Captain Vol has a bit further out at sea, who have started to move in as well.
Yay.
Yes.
With the chaos beginning. The two of you, Dice and Cheery, particularly being near the docks, will see that it's not only the ships that are mustering, a bunch of Captain Vol's men who have been on shore leave, after hearing the sound of the horn go, have started to muster and start moving into the docks area with very malicious intent. You've also
cheery
noticed... not cheery intent, not diceful intent, malicious intent. What you will also notice is at the same time this is happening, the sound of the horn has also seemed to have called forth Captain Black's crew who are on shore leave on the dock. As you are kind of stuck in the middle of... Yeah. Violence and violence. Yes.
This is basically England v Wales on match day, and we're stuck in the middle.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Leave them to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm pretty much thinking. Just run, dodge for cover.
It'll be fine. So we will begin at the docks with Cheery and Dice.
Yes.
Down here, the ones in red down here are the crewmen who have been left behind from the Golden Chimera. They are mustering, they are preparing weapons, they are getting ready for a fight.
I didn't want you, so...
But what you will notice is from sort of the north, it'd be handy if I was on the right layer. Where is it? That's the correct page. A few of Captain Black's men making their way down. Huge they are! Huge! They're all Goliaths and they've all got a temper. Unfortunately, from the looks of them, though, being on their shore leave, they all look a little half-cut, stumbling a little down the street. As they stumble down the street, the figures from the dock will start moving over. They don't seem focused on you, but you're kind of stuck in the middle as the crew from the Golden Chimera sort of point over, yell out, and go, them's the lot from the Silver Serpent, right, fuck 'em up! As the crewmen from the Silver Serpent, once again, fairly half-cut, stumbling. There's two of them who are sort of leaning on each other in hopes that they don't collapse. As the front leader of the lot of them will sort of point over and go, what ho, lads! Fuck them up instead! Yes, we shall be doing the fucking of ups! Get them!
The fucking of ups.
Fucking them up.
The fucking
We shall
of
fuck
ups.
all the fucks up.
Yes. As they draw weapons, you'll notice that the guys from the Golden Chimera seem to have sort of scimitars as their primary weapons, whereas the men from the Silver Serpent draw short swords and daggers, sort of dual wielding, though stumbling somewhat as they do. As I would like an initiative roll from Dice and Cheery.
Okay. Aha! Still on brand at 8.
So we've got Dice with an initiative of 13 and Cheery with an initiative of 8. Fortunately, they don't seem to be focused on you, but it does seem that the lot from the Golden Chimera do have the jump on everyone. Them still be seeming fairly sober. They've only been drinking the day grog, whereas yourselves not quite expecting it right out of the bat, and the Silver Serpent crew being quite drunk aren't the quickest on their feet. As they draw their weapons and sort of make a charge towards them, a couple of them will notice the two of you. One of them will point out Dice in particular, nudge one of his buddies, go, yes, Dice now currently being a small werewolf with a streak of pink across the top of the fur. Wow, wow, wow.
Don't mind us, lads. Just walking the dog.
What?
I get a deception check on that.
Yeah, go for it.
15.
15 deception. The crew, not focused on you directly, more intrigued by the little werewolf with the pink streak and the tiefling who appears to be walking this creature, seem to pause for a moment. The head of them sort of go, you don't want to be round here, buddy. It's about to go down.
Alright, carry on.
As the men,
Fido.
as they start to charge up the street past you, not really paying much mind to you.
Nice.
With the chaos going on, you do know that Gillian has rushed off to some locals she knows who owe her a couple of favours to basically pull in some extra muscle to help out, seeing that the docks is going from what could potentially start off as a bit of a small scuff between two crews. You reckon this could escalate quite quickly into whose side are you on? Are you silver or are you gold?
Silver, darling.
As they rush in. with that, Dice, with them rushing past, it is your initiative. They don't seem focused on you or Cheery at the moment, though once again, this could all change very quickly when the docks may break out into erupt into civil warfare.
Yeah, so we've seen the ship going towards Black Ship, and we've seen this bunch of who knows what and whatnots. So I know there's boats on the map, but are there any like rowboats and shit nearby us?
There are a couple about.
Yeah.
Particularly, you'll especially see sort of one or two fishermen's boats. You can see a couple of rods in there. The fishermen who own them have very quickly, they've popped the old hat on, grabbed their bag, and have bolted down the side street. They know what's going on. They go, nothing to do with us. We're getting the hell out of here now. As they've bolted, leaving the sort of little fishing boat. Fairly easy to grab if you need to.
Yeah, so sort of like turning to Cheery, I'll just sort of like nudge towards the boats and sort of just take off towards one.
Okay. Yeah. See, this one here.
Which one?
That one there. Definitely one of the fishing boats easy to nab and make your way out with.
Okay. So... I can just about get to it, buddy.
Yeah. As you dart around up towards it, the only thing really securing it is some rope around one of the posts. Looks like it's just been wrapped up and a simple knot has been tied just to keep it from any waves pulling it out too far. As Cheery, you witnessed your little werewolf companion pet thing, as they seem to think it is, sort of give the quick nudge of the head towards this boat and starts rushing over. What are you doing?
The question is, if I give Barbatos a bag of flour and have them bung it into the middle of those guys to create a cloud, am I going to be able to light it on the same turn, or am I going to have to wait till next turn?
I'm going to say you'd have to wait till next turn, purely because Barbatos has to get it up high enough and then release it.
Okay.
So it would be the start of the next turn is effectively as you see it hit the ground and explode outwards, the power, you can then ignite it.
Well, I'll do that. Does that count as a bonus action, or is it just Barbatos's?
I'm going to say it's a bonus action, more for getting the flour out and prepping it to then hand to Barbatos to deliver the package.
Okay. Get Barbatos doing that. I'm looking at ranges here.
Nice.
So it would be nice to keep those three alive for possible later stuff. And I think we're going to be having company fairly soon. So that's a bonus action. Let's see how far can I get.
Right.
These grids just...
So ignore the grids for the most part.
Right, okay, just go with the distance.
So just go with the distance for yourself.
Get to that side and then fail to jump into the boat and drown.
That's always a possibility.
Right, I am going to move to here and for an action hide. At the same time, just waving at Dice and give her that wait a second gesture.
Quickly dart over behind the sort of the nice ornamental tree in the docks, up behind it, and give quickly the.
One second.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. And I'll attempt to stealth.
Mm-hmm. You can make me a stealth check.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for this natural one.
Come on.
15.
Oh, 15, not bad. Particularly with all the chaos that's going on, and they're not focused on you. It seems to be good enough that they're not glancing back or checking on you. You do notice sort of one of the back ones does look back to have a quick glance around, but doesn't seem to spot you in the process and goes back to focusing on the crewman of the Silver Serpent.
Yeah. So hopefully that should be enough. What's my distance? Cool. Cool. Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay.
I've got an AOE on the way to them, and
after your go, the crewmen of the Silver Serpent muster themselves. The one leading them gives a yell, a bit of a battle cry. Literally just the yell of "for black," as they hurl themselves in towards the crew of the Golden Chimera. Charging in, no fear, no resolve, mostly tumbling as they do, but with some still skill and panache behind them. Though it's quite quickly to see that these crewmen who are coming back from drinking are also outnumbered, whilst also being inebriated. As the fight starts, there's the clashing of steel. The crewmen of the Silver Serpent seem to be quite, even though drunk, still quite skilled with the dagger and the short sword combination, using the short sword more to deflect blows and parry sword strikes, and then get into the side and weak points with the dagger. As we will pop back to Dice.
Question: can I talk?
In this state, yes, though it's a little awkward because you're not used to doing so with a snout.
Yeah,
but you are still able to communicate.
Yeah, so I'll probably just sort of whisper shout over to Cheery. It's like, are we going to the boat or killing them all?
it'd be useful to take some of these Mr. Black's crew with us. Strengthening numbers, and it gives them somebody else to stab while we're doing our work.
Good idea.
The rogues. We want someone else to hide behind.
Do you have anything planned that could hurt me? So if I go after
There's a bomb about to go off in the back lot. That's what Barbatos has gone up to do.
Okay, I'll just wait by you then. Yeah, so I'll probably just.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, just stay put, and we'll. The next turn will be the one where.
Yeah. I'll try and hide then. Do you want me to do a stealth roll?
Yes, make me a stealth roll as you sort of come up and rush up to where Cheery is, bunkered down into the same spot.
There is stealth.
Not bad.
Cheery has a small black bag out so that if anyone comes past and spots them, he can pretend he's looking for Fenton's business.
Yep. So,
Yes.
So with a 19, you're able to get yourself sort of tucked in quite nicely. But you don't think they're going to be able to spot you, at least not without actively trying to search for you.
Yeah.
As once again, their focus is definitely driven towards their rival crewmen rather than yourselves. Especially since you don't look like the goblin they're after anymore. The little werewolf. As the fight continues, the men serving the Golden Chimera keep pushing in towards the crewman of the Silver Serpent, Mr. Black's crew. These men don't seem to have the same training. They are just rushing in and hacking as best they can. Whereas, though once again still fairly drunk, the Silver Serpent crewmen are able to sort of parry blows, sort of, dance around, bit of footwork, and then every so often, as they parry your blade, sort of go, weak spot, in the gut, in the side, with the very small, sort of quite a long dagger, but think of it more as a puncturing kind of thing rather than a bladed weapon. As their little fight continues. Cheery.
Barbatos is going to dump the flour at the back of that lot. There we go.
Yep.
In amongst those.
Are you aiming to try and not hit the Silver Serpent, gentlemen?
If possible, yes.
It will be possible, but I will need a dexterity attack from Barbatos.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say they have proficiency. Because, birds dropping things on people, that's their skill set.
Okay, Dex is +1, so proficiency +3. So
yep. +4.
So actually, so it's +1 for his Dex, +3 for his proficiency, so +4. 20. 17 plus 4, 21.
21. Barbatos flies up. There's a bit of circle. As he does the circle, then releases the bag of flour. It actually hits the back guy square on the head, sort of making him tumble a bit, as there is a big plume of flour as it disperses into the air, leaving you the perfect opportunity to ignite it.
I'm going to grab a lamp wick from my pocket, seeing as a lantern. I'm going to ignite it with Presty and throw it.
Yep.
Let's see, how far away am I? 15 foot. How close do I need to get to throw this?
I'm going to say, because of the flour and things and using a lantern wick, I'm going to say you're going to have to get up about 10 foot. Which is sort of just on the edge of the blast range.
Yeah,
so you may lose eyebrows, but you don't think it'll hit you.
Okay, so I'm there, and do I need to roll to hit, or...?
Yes, make me a dexterity attack, and you can have proficiency for it. Is it the effectiveness of like flicking a cigarette butt or something?
I'll just roll it as a dart.
Go for it.
Because it will say damage and shit, but it's the.
We're not worried about the damage or blowing them up. Oh! It goes off, so you do hit. Because as the rules with the Fumble folks here, if you get a critical fail, you still hit, but bad things happen. Unfortunately, as you rushed in to flick the flame, one of the loose cobblestones on the ground causes you to stumble forwards with it as you fall into the blast radius of the explosion from the powdered flour.
Dead already.
You hurl it forwards as what was the damage again?
I believe it was 3d6.
Yeah.
Are we allowed Dex save?
Dexterity saving throw, yes. And you won't get disadvantage on it because you know what's going on. So even you falling into it, you know that no.
Yeah.
As you tumble forwards.
Okay, I'm gonna roll my Dex save. Oh, thank fuck.
Yeah.
So
you stumble forwards, you dive for cover rather than try to keep yourself up.
Yeah.
Just so it gets your back rather than the rest of you.
Move to into cover. Okay, and it's 3d6 damage.
Yep. The 4 men. Oh, that's not too bad. 8 damage.
That's not too bad. 8 damage to them, 4 to me.
Yep, 4 to yourself. The 4 men, unexpecting it, completely failed the dexterity saving throw. They weren't expecting the explosion of force, as it does seem to batter them about, but they are still standing.
Cheery should be on 24 out of 28 health. I don't know what's going on with the thing on there, but
we'll worry about that
26.
later.
Yeah, I'm tracking it correctly on
Yeah, that's fine.
this side of things. So, and hide.
Yeah. The blast disorientates them enough that the Silver Serpent crew do start to rush and push forwards. The whole lot of them sort of pushing past you, fighting. as he will take down one of their men. Basically parries the blade to the ground after he's been hit, sort of blasted in the back, and then thrusting into the side and up into the rib cage as the man sort of gargles, collapses into the ground, lungs filling with blood from the strike. As there's a resounding cheer from the rest of his men as he drops one of the foes. As with that, we will quickly move on to Ulsanna on the ship. I thought it was appropriate because there are going to eventually be some sunk ships, I imagine. Whether they're yours or not is a different case.
Can everyone see this, or is it just me?
Oh, everyone can see it. So
Okay.
I'm going to do it so everyone can see it, because it's going to be a little bit back and forth, back and forth.
Okay.
So, glancing around, you can see the 6 ships that seem to come from almost like the mist in the distance, just coming over the horizon towards you. As they do, Mr. Black goes very much from the very gentlemanly, very poised gentleman to almost militaristic in a moment. As he's quickly pointing and yelling, the staff, his sort of walking cane in hand, pointing with the walking cane, pull up the rigging, everyone on the port, I need men on cannons, load the cannons, fire warning shots, and then ready to take down any ship that moves too close. I don't care if it's Gold Chimera or Purple Dog, just shoot it. As all the men seem to muster a yell of aye aye sir, as they are like a well-oiled machine, rushing about. Several men go down below decks, readying the 4 cannons they have, being more of a rare item, cannons, particularly black powder weapons. So he's got some firepower with him and clout. Mr. Black will turn to you and go, Miss Ulsanna, it seems we are under attack. I don't think it's the safest situation to send you back on one of the rowboats, considering, as he'll glance over and point at the Gold Chimera, plummeting, heading straight towards the ship. Seeing as they're on their way, I would advise you remain here on the ship and stay safe.
Thank you.
I thought I'd say it, but I imagine you are going to do what you do best.
Yes.
Wonderful.
You stay safe.
I will attempt to.
Right.
But I will also do what I do best.
Okay. Great.
With that, the top of his cane, he gives it a quick twist, and you can hear almost a little click as he draws a very thin, elegant blade from the cane, pulling a sword cane, as it's got some fair sort of black etchings running down the blade, as they appear to sort of represent various symbols of the Raven Queen, as it's like a flock of birds flying from her hand up the blade. As the men muster and rush around. What are you doing on the ship? You can see 6 ships making their way. You reckon about a minute, less than a minute before they get close enough, they're going to start opening fire with ballistas at your ship.
I want to get to the other ship, but I can't. I don't know how.
The Golden Chimera, if you make me a very quick history roll, I think I'll do the trick. It's very nice. You're not necessarily well versed with sort of nautical tactics, but you may know a couple of little things. Nope. No, you don't. With a 3, you got no idea what he's doing. He looks like he's going straight forwards towards the ship, but you got no idea what he's doing. He could pull left, he could pull right. Hey, you're pretty certain ships might be able to backflip? You're not sure. You've never really been out to sea much.
Right. I've not been to sea at all.
There you go.
I don't have it in Shadowfell.
No ships in Shadowfell. Well, there is. It's not. Anyway.
Just not been on them.
It's not on water. I will wait until I guess I'm part of the crew. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. The crewmen will mostly avoid you and sort of leave you to your own devices.
Yeah.
It seems to be very much the sense of they don't see you as crewmen, so they're not willing to give you orders. and they're trying to keep out of your way because you get the sense that Mr. Black has told them about you. So there's a bit of a wide berth.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, so I'm going to get my crossbow out. Also, rapier is ready on my side and stuff. I'm just ready.
Okay, just getting prepared.
Hidden?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see what happens if they get close, especially the Golden Chimera.
Yes, the Golden Chimera being the flagship of the little flotilla of ships they have. Watching, particularly as it gets closer and closer, the men start to get a bit weary of what's going on. As you notice, the side, sort of the port... sorry, not the starboard side of the ship.
Yeah, I know this.
1 second. No, ignore me. It is the port side they're going to hit. I couldn't work out which way the ship was pointing. The port side of the ship, the men start to back away from the actual side of the ship.
Okay.
As the Golden Chimera comes in, it doesn't turn, it doesn't try to flank. There is the sort of ground shaking of the ship as two of the cannons fire from the lower decks of the Silver Serpent. Cannonballs shredding into the front of the Golden Chimera, but not even... The ship barely slows down as it will slam into the side of the Silver Serpent. As soon as it slams into the side of the Silver Serpent, you find that the men sort of prepared on the front of the ship leap off using the momentum to get onto the Silver Serpent.
Right. Cool.
So bear with me. Let me just pop a couple of...
Oh, they're small.
I'll make some bigger now. Yes, they leap off. Scimitars ready. As you can already see on the Golden Chimera, men prepping and getting ready for more to start boarding.
Yeah.
They appear to be being commanded not by Captain Vol, but by his very large and imposing Goliath first mate. As he's the one sort of slamming them on the back and almost throwing them onto the ship.
How far is he?
He is, I'm going to say he's roughly about 30 foot from you, distance.
Cool.
Okay. So, Ulsanna, what are you doing in that moment? There are men on the ship.
I want to go for the Goliath because he's the one who's giving orders.
So you're going to leave the Silver Serpent and go onto the Golden Chimera.
Here.
Oh yes, you've got ranged combat. Yeah. It will count as a sneak attack because he definitely won't be expecting it. Crossbows on a ship? No. No. It's not how we do things here. It's not how we do things in Waterdeep.
It's dishonourable to use crossbows on a ship.
So you will get your sneak attack with it.
Oh, what's that? Ooh. What is a hex weapon?
Yeah, you've got your hex. No, do you have a hex blade?
Yeah, it is. It is it, isn't it?
Yes, yours works slightly differently because your hex blade, because you're doing it through the Raven Queen, you actually have the benefits are added to your hand crossbow because it is a weapon of the Raven Queen. And
you've got your hex blade curse, which you can't transfer, but you've got hex that you can. So you can hex as a bonus action and do like I did with Randy the other night, where you hex for dex in the hope of.
Yeah, I'm gonna go straight.
Straight up, shoot him.
Yeah.
Hex gives you the extra 1d6.
Say hex weapon.
There's a few benefits you get for it being a hex weapon.
Okay, shall I take that then?
Yeah.
And that's not going to make any difference. Well, I mean, some difference. Okay. Oops. Made it this. Me. I get to reroll something.
Yeah, you get a roll. You get another roll for your elven accuracy, don't you?
Elven accuracy.
Yes, so you get to make another roll. Basically, you get to roll 3 times and pick the best in this situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically fishing for crits.
Yeah.
Oh, come off it.
Right. With a 13, the bolt seems to hit him, but it basically bounces off him. He's very sturdy and robust. As the shot doesn't land, though he seems to, as it hits him, he turns and he clocks you right away. He gives a quick whistle. He nudges one of the he nudges one of the guys as you do hear the yell of "Fetch me my hammer!" Doff the hat and hide. Welp.
Bring it.
Bitches.
Bitches.
I would like to hide behind this pole.
Okay. Yes, you may. You may make me a stealth roll.
Fuck.
An 11.
These are terrible rolls so far.
As you hide behind the pole, you suspect it's not very good, particularly because you were stood next to the pole that you are now hiding behind. As he's basically staring at the pole, going,
She's there, so.
Yeah.
Fuck.
The crew of the ship do rush in to try and start clearing these warriors that have boarded. Whereas Mr. Black seems to, he raises a hand, calls upon some sort of incantation, as there is a glow. As he launches some sort of dark bolt, seems to form into a raven, and as it lands on the enemy ship, a big bubble of darkness forms on the enemy ship. Yes, as we will quickly jump back to
Meanwhile, on the side of a seemingly innocent bookstore.
Meanwhile, at the docks. Back to the docks. Dice.
Yes.
The explosion has gone off. The chaos has kicked off. They are aware of both of your presence at the moment, though they are still in combat with the crewmen of the Silver Serpent.
Yes.
Actually, we're both still hidden.
Oh yes, no, you're both still hidden. Because Barbatos dropped it.
They think there's an owl involved somewhere. Flyby as well.
Yes. Though you will hear the sound of a whistle from further south of the dock from where you are, so behind, as more of these men drawing scimitars, who appear to be crewmen of the Golden Chimera, or at least one of his ships, start to rush up the docks. As they're a little ways at the moment, but with the pace they're making, it won't be long before they strike.
It's like... So, Dice will draw her dagger and her short sword.
Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna go dagger and short sword, and basically run up and try and take out this guy. As she does, she'll sort of shout over to Mary, he's like, "We've got more coming behind."
You'll rush up, bit of a flash of movement in white, so let us see what you get. And you'll get advantage because they're not aware of you.
They'll go short sword first.
Shots of this. 21! That's definitely going to hit him. As you jab him where the sun don't shine.
That's usual. It's all I can reach. I'm still only 3 foot.
Oh.
I can only stab in the ass.
Got another campaign where we're playing and we got a paladin halfling with a whip. He just aims for the taint every time. 1d4 taint damage.
Well...
That whip's tainted. As the dagger as well, with the bonus action.
Yes. Hang on. Normal roll? Yeah. Why not?
The dagger, unfortunately, you stab him in sort of the rear with the short sword. He's already turned around by this point and sort of clipped with his blade the dagger to parry it, as he's not best pleased in the current situation, especially with that kind of damage. The wound you do to him is enough that he's limping quite badly and bleeding a lot, though he is still just about standing, it seems. As there go. The rest of them are more concerned with the current situation of moving up and trying to deal with the rival crewman. Unfortunately, as they muster up and surround him, the one in the middle gets cut down by 4 of them. Him only having the 2 weapons, unable to parry enough blows as they take him out, cutting him down as he gives a yell in pain, though his fellow crewmen cheer and continue the fight. The one you stabbed in the backside, on the other hand, is more focused on the tiny werewolf with the pink streak, as he will lunge in for a stab with the blade, getting a 16.
That literally just catches the new Wacy.
Just catches you. It looks like it looks like it's going to miss, but unfortunately you dodge in the wrong direction, gets you in the shoulder for a resounding 8 damage, which is halved in your current state.
I just laugh at him.
It's not a silver blade. It's not magic. It's got no special effects. It's a standard blade. I want to stab dice now. It sort of stabs, and as he's expecting it to sort of plunge deeper, there's that sort of Huh?
Is he?
Werewolf!
Nice.
It's a werewolf!
Whatever gave you that impression?
It's wolfy and it's where. Cheery.
It's a warehouse! Cheery is going to draw a wooden dagger from his magic hand of vininess and fling it straight into the one attacking Dice.
Aha.
Don't kill what you can, avoid what you can't. So, because I'm coming from hidden, that's advantage.
Yeah.
24, I'm assuming that hits.
That's a definite hit as you leap out, hurl the throwing knife, as it will jab into their back. With very...
That's 9 points. 9 points of damage.
As it hurls through the air, you'll find that as at the spin of the blade, you get him in the sort of the back of the neck, near the side. Just enough that the blood from the wound from Dice and him clutching the wound, he drops to one knee, and the sheer blood loss, he just passes out in front of you, Dice.
Cheery is then going to move. I've still got 30 feet of movement, haven't I? So, everything in tens.
Okay.
Yep. Cheery is going to run this way up onto the roof, because athlete feet means I do not lose movement climbing. And he's going to bonus action hide.
Aha. As you flee over, you will get an opportunity attack against you from only the one of them. This one here. With you leaping out and throwing the knife, and particularly then felling the gentleman, as you dart past, he'll notice you, clock you, as he goes for a swing as you rush past. Though he only gets a 12.
That's nowhere near my AC.
At which point it barely grazes your level armour as you dart past
nowhere
him.
Near. It's 2 away from, which is enough. And now I will attempt to hide.
Go for it. Make me a stealth check.
23.
With the size of the roof, there's plenty of place, nooks and crannies for you to hide along. Yep. You do know there is someone who's aware you're up there, but they don't know exactly where you are on the roof at the moment.
Yep.
As it is the crewmen of the Silver Serpent's go. After watching one of their own men fall, they almost seem to get a bit of a blood rush as they start pushing the crewmen of the Golden Chimera back again. They've gone from using defensive parry and stabs to they are hacking and hacking to try and make an opening, and then lunging and thrusting. As they will start pushing them around you, Dice.
Yeah.
And once again, there is a lot of swing, 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 stab, using the short sword to try and make an opening, not really to try and attack, and sticking to this sort of stiletto dagger to try and get in the occasional attacks. As yes, there is very shortly, though, the sound of the stomping of feet from behind you as more start to arrive.
Oh man.
It's gonna be a dice damage now.
Trust me, it's worse on the ship.
It's going to get worse on the ship. Dice, we'll go back to you.
Seeing as I can probably tell, I am fucked if I stay here. I would like to disengage.
Yeah.
And then run over here. Because why the fuck not? And then if I can reach him.
Yeah, you'll be able to get around the corner and reach him, not a problem.
Yeah, and give him a tap with the... Yeah, so bonus action disengage, and then give him a love tap with my short sword.
Go for it.
Number
13.
Nah.
No, unfortunately, the movements, particularly the fighting, you're trying to sort of stab into a fight that's already going on.
Yeah.
It's a little hard to get past the kind of still swaying crewman of the Silver Serpent. But you give it a good try.
Yeah, that's all. I'm good with that.
As you do so, the crewmen of the Golden Chimera rush their way up, sort of piling in. As unfortunately, with the piling in, it does start to push back the Silver Serpent crewmen. Being good, still against being outnumbered, they are severely outnumbered as they get pushed back a bit. The crewmen attacking them don't seem to be focusing on you, Dice. They seem more focused on them as they push, though you will notice one or two of them glance over at you, look back to the men, and then sort of double take as they realise, oh shit.
What's that furry thing?
What's the furry thing with the pink streak? Kill it! Kill it as a werewolf! Kill it! Oh!
Lit with fire!
As Cheery.
Ah, Christ. Right, well, bonus action. Send Barbatos off with another package.
Yep.
There's a big clump of them there, and it's the best thing to do. So that's coming next round. That's the dove from above.
Yeah, you get it all prepped and everything. Give it a bit of a shake so when it lands, it disperses nicely. You give Batters the orders as he takes the bag and does the circling to start with.
Yeah.
Just looking for the right spot.
Then Cheery is going to move to here. Well, I don't know where they're going to move to next, so I imagine they'll probably come past. And I'm assuming I'm hoping I can get at least some kind of cover off the sloped roof. So that's bonus action to prep Barbatos, and I'm just going to throw a dagger at... Can I get a shot on that guy?
Yes, you can. I'm going to say... Yeah, not even disadvantage or anything. You're a rogue. You're used to trying to pick these very careful shots out anyway. Yeah. So you're able to...
Get him off the roof. Yeah, okay. Advantage for... Did I hide last?
You did stealth, and he's not going to be aware of you because he's not focused on you. So you do get your advantage.
That's a crit.
Nice.
Ooh. 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 Yeah, that's a critical.
Like, what, 28?
From a dagger. Nice.
So let's see here. 6, 10, and 24, 30...
Oh, plus crit. Oh, fucking hell.
42 damage.
I'm gonna fucking
As
die.
Cheery
Nice.
sort of pops up from behind the steepling of the roof, hurls this rather small dagger with expert guideline precision. Cheery doesn't see anything else around the target, just the target, as it lands into the side of the gullet. There's spurts of blood as he just sort of gargles and chokes, clutching his neck as he collapses backwards, causing a few of his buddies to tumble with him. As he dies, but his buddies sort of fall to the ground. To the point where the crewman who watches him die, the Silver Serpent, will sort of look at him die, glance around for a moment, and sort of shrug and go, woohoo! And make his way forwards.
Seagulls have us back! Come on, back, lads!
As they
We
push,
ride with the seagulls.
they push back in to the enemy. And with that, let us see what's going on the ship.
Oh god.
Yeah.
So Ulsanna's still alive. I've got to zoom back out again. I love this. That's difficult.
Ulsanna, we'll begin with you, as you are the quickest on this ship. By a fair bit. You've seen that two crewmen have rushed over to the first mate, the big Goliath, and passed him a big maul. Looks to be some sort of large stone rock at one end, banded together with steel, and then attached to a large iron haft. As he seems focused on you still.
Yeah. Okay.
I am
Wherever I
happy.
am, it's not going to work. My sneak attack. Going to. He's still sort of coming over.
Oh yeah, he's making a bit of a spectacle of it as he's just slowly taking step by step towards the front of his ship, ready to come aboard yours.
Except for Dex, so he fucks up the landing.
I got a plan for my one spell slot. So
Ooh.
Oh.
one spell slot, okay?
Ooh.
Got a slot for you, my friend. Oh yeah, because I'm used to having 2 slots.
Okay.
That's good rum.
Yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna Eldritch Blast him, because why not?
Ooh, go for it.
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blaze!
And I am not hidden, so.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck me. I can't even with these rolls.
Yeah, well, you get +7 with the crossbow. You only get +4 with the blast.
Well, yeah.
The bolt goes wide, but if I remember correctly, at your level, shouldn't you be getting 2 blasts?
Yes.
So don't forget your second. Because even though you're only level 1 warlock, you are a level 6 character?
5 character.
5 character.
So it was
I
an
should know
8
these
and a
things, I'm
9.
running.
8 and a 9 to hit.
There, you call on the energy. As you hurl it, unfortunately, it goes wide. He sort of shifts the head to one side and then the other as they hurl past him.
Okay.
Stomping his way towards your ship.
Sandy, I'm gonna make it look like I've lobbed myself off the ship.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna go there, because there's a little thing, and I'm gonna hide over there.
Cool. I would like an acrobatics from you. More, because you're trying to make it look like you've leaped off. You're sort of going for the jump, but going for the jump partway down, then grab to try and stabilise yourself.
18.
Nice.
18 acrobatics, not an issue. There's a little bit of a backflip off, just for a little bit of flair, obviously, as you're able to grab onto the rope ladder dangling off the side. I don't need a stealth check, because you're completely out of sight.
Cool.
It seems, as far as they're concerned, you've just jumped off the ship. Not sure why, but you've jumped off the
Black
ship.
is like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Black's a little like, okay, was not expecting that.
Bye.
Oh well. The crewmen of the Golden Chimera will continue their push, fighting as effectively they are pushing the men back to make a clearing. From where you are, Ulsanna, you will hear the distinct sound of the captain of the Golden Chimera giving a command, sort of quite booming voice as he does so.
Captain or the...
Of the Golden Chimera. So
Yeah,
Captain
the captain
Vol.
or the Goliath.
Captain Vol.
Okay.
The yell being, "Don't worry about our ship, men. We're taking theirs."
Well,
As
this
there's
is
a
about
large cheer.
ship envy.
His ship's bigger
Well, he
than
has to
them.
compensate for he has to compensate for something.
As more men dive onto the Silver Serpent, resounding cheers and roars of them as they do so. The Goliath will eventually get to the front of his ship, though he doesn't seem to have boarded. He seems to be sort of scanning, looking for Ulsanna, potentially. He seems to have found his target. The captain, who sort of made a very quick appearance, also very quickly then vanishes again. As Captain Black will move up behind his men, sort of trying to give them a bit of encouragement. The blade out, as he will launch some blasts of eldritch energy past them into the crowd.
I'll die.
Ulsanna, you're on the laddery part of the ship to the side. What is your plan? You're gonna pop up and fire as you're along.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Go for it. Oh,
Nice.
a critical hit. The Goliath, I believe, was it?
Yeah.
You pop up with him glancing around.
I want to make sure he sees me first, right? Can I do
Yes.
that?
Yeah. You wait. Let him glance around. You wait for him till he's sort of glancing up one end of the ship to pop up. You line the shot up, knowing he's about to look at you. Just as his eyes meet yours, you pull the trigger. The bolt hurls through the air. As waiting for that perfect opportune moment, you get him in the eye. Sort of burst of blood, rupture in the eye. There is a bolt sticking in his head. He gives a yell of pain as you do a resounding 11, 19, 20, 31 damage
Nice.
to the Goliath. He clutches at the wound. He does drop his hammer in the process, but he is still standing.
Onto his feet. He's doing the angry bar.
More or less. Though after a moment he then pulls the bolt out, flicks it to one side, picks up the hammer as he is still standing. The crew of the Golden Chimera push forwards. You can hear the sound of cannons firing again below decks, as they seem to be solely firing into the ship that is already sort of crashed into the side, just trying to break it apart for it to sink. But the men do start getting pushed back.
If I hide here, Goliath will know where I am.
Yes.
And what is this?
Aha! That is a ship part that Ryan does not know.
That's fine.
Because Ryan does not know a huge amount about ships, unfortunately.
That's fine.
It's the roguey bit.
I know they
Yes,
float on water.
Yes, it looks just like a decoration that I'm going to attempt to stand on.
I'm going to say that's fine. It's a decoration piece, which, because of where it is, you should be able to get some leverage and be able to walk along it.
Like Dexy.
Acrobatics, I'm going to say advantage, because it is going to be a fairly solid part. And you're not doing anything too extravagant. 11 is enough. You're after a 10 not to fall into the water.
Great.
It was wet and I slipped and I fell in. Yes, as you're able to move along, the Goliath seems more focused on this ladder. Of course, not being able to see that decoration on the other side. So it doesn't necessarily know you've started to shift across the side. The Goliath, though, will
Yes!
make his way onto the ship. This is where Ryan plays the game of, did I make a token for the Goliath before? If not, I can do one very quickly. That's simple enough.
Where's the tiefling first mate and the Warforged?
Yeah.
That's a very good question. I know where they are.
You know where they are.
I know where they are. They aren't there. They aren't where you probably think they are. Yeah. Yes, the Goliath will come onto the deck, hammer in hand, bleeding out of one eye where you've struck him, looking around. His focus, once again, not on the crewman or Mr. Black, more on, right, the bitch went that way.
Yes, she did.
Yes, she did. As we shall return to the crew and the people at the dock.
Fucking hell, that's a lot of people.
Y'all started a crew war. Dice.
Yes.
There's a few by you. They are aware you're there, but their focus isn't on you at the moment. But they do know you're there enough that they sort of fight. Wolf still there? Yeah, okay. Fight. Is it bitten us yet? Not yet.
Be nice, but fuck it. I'm gonna go 2 attacks against this dude.
Ooh.
One with, let's see, a short sword and one with the dagger. Cause why not?
The short sword misses as you rush in for the strike. Once again, because they're away or there, they are trying to keep a little bit of distance from you. As you get the swipe with the short sword, unfortunately missing. But you still have the dagger.
Yes.
Dagger of 17. That's a strike. A good one at that.
Yes.
As you rush in and give the plunge of the dagger, you're able to stab him fairly well in the leg. There's a bit of a yell and a hop from him. Not quite expecting the wolf creature to use weapons like that.
Yeah. And then I'll just sort of like move closer to this dude. Still within sort of like coming round. I'm just like, hey, wait till my next trick. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. With that, the men from the Golden Chimera, they seem to be at an impasse at the moment. The 4 men left from the Silver Serpent, though, once again, still wobbling slightly, the fight seems to have kicked the adrenaline in. As they formed a line, and they've gone from being defensive, as I said before, to being very offensive. The short swords, they are hurling blows out left, right, and centre with no concern for their own health or safety. With the dagger just tucked behind them, ready. Anytime one gets in close to try and strike one when they're open, they turn and give a jab in, creating a bit of a stalemate in the centre. Which, fortunately, works perfectly for you, Cheery, as the people haven't moved and they've just clustered.
Yeah.
Trying to get in to push forwards.
Well, Batos wants to drop it. Batos to drop it. So, like, plug fuck in the middle of that. So I've got a line of people between them and that. So, what is it? It was D20 plus 4 for Barbatos. 9, that's a 13 to hit the centre.
Ooh. That's going to be enough. Once again, you're not necessarily aiming for specific
Anyone,
armor class
yeah,
or anything. You're aiming for an area.
Yeah.
It lands. There is the big plume of sort of powdered flour, particularly given the shape and give it to Barbatos. the big plume of it as you have your opportunity to.
Cheery's going to learn from his mistakes and realise he's got a wooden fucking arm that produces wooden weapons. And he's going to produce a dart and ignite that this time rather than a soft bit of. And he's going to throw that, throw a flaming dart
into the mist.
Yeah. Just
no
to ignite it.
It takes a little bit to ignite it, just because it's more living wood than so there's a little bit of waiting to go. Come on, burn, at least smoulder. But you will get it going as you're able to then pop up and just using the arm, it darts it out into the powder as the particles start to ignite. The big boom and crack of ground. As everything sort of blasts, men get thrown around a fair bit. As roll your damage.
Tom, I don't mind if it's high.
Yep. They have failed
9 points of damage.
Yep. They have failed their dex saves because they were on disadvantages because they didn't know it was coming, and with them all being clustered, there's nowhere to run or duck. The blast of 9 damage bursts out over them. They are still standing, though a couple do go down, having taken some nasty jabs from the crewman of the Silver Serpent. And one unfortunate fellow who got stabbed by a werewolf.
And bonus action hide.
Yeah, as you pop yourself back behind the little steepley bit of the roof.
Cheery has taken enough damage in the last time he was on a roof. He's learned his lesson. I'm not going to try and overegg it. I'm not going to try and be cool. I'm just going to hide quite well.
You got this, Cheery.
Lob yourself off.
Yeah, don't leap off trying to collapse someone's skull and kill the 2 next to him this time. It's just...
With that, Cheery, the men from the Silver Serpent, particularly suddenly getting a bit of a aid from yourself, the blast, them falling, and particularly the werewolf fighting from the side, are able to start pushing them back again. Once again, they are going very aggressive as they start moving themselves forward once more. As it's...
Look, the corpses!
Really now?
I should have cast Mage Hand earlier.
As the both of you are now behind the somewhat protected line of crewmen from the Silver Serpent. Woohoo! Though, once you're on this side of them, taking a look, they are looking pretty bloodied and battered. Being outnumbered, at this point, they've been outnumbered about 3-1, quite easily in this fight. But they are still holding their own.
Just waiting for Gillian to turn up.
No.
The sooner Gillian turns up, the sooner the day is rescued. The later she turns up, the more chance I have to kill you all.
Yeah.
Both.
Apart from Ulsanna. Ulsanna's on her own.
Where are our Dragonborn?
They're not here yet.
Oh. Why?
Oh, wait a minute. They aren't here yet.
Hmm?
Amy.
Oh yeah, the Dragonborn's already here. It's white, fluffy, and has a pink streak over its hair.
No, I mean, Iruk, Lenny, and...
George.
Lenny and George. Probably lost.
Yeah.
Just the docks, guys. How lost can you get?
Have you seen the docks? Lenny wanted ice cream. Ice cream, good.
Yeah.
Alright, they will be arriving. With that, with the good mustering, we're just going to quickly nip back to the ship. Because shit's about to go down big time. Ulsanna. The Goliath is on board the ship. He isn't quite aware where you are. His main focus seems to be where this ladder is.
I'd like to hold my action until he is closer.
Aha,
This
okay.
side of the people, so that I'm guessing he's going to come and look for me.
More than likely. So you're going to...
Yeah.
He will then, as you sort of keep a quick watch, once again, you manage to sort of pop up to glance when he's not looking your way, just to make sure you can monitor him whilst him not finding you. He will move up forwards, not seeing where you are. Sort of the men move out the way quite quickly. As he steps up, the crewman, who seems to be sort of stood with Mr. Black, or Captain Black in this situation, very quickly, he's ready with his sword and dagger. He rushes in as the Goliath, in one big fell swoop, swings the hammer behind him over the top and crushes him in a single blow. Body hits the ground. There's the sound of splintering
Captain
ribcage.
Black.
Not Captain Black, the crewman with Captain Black. This one here, literally behind him, over the top, and slams the maul down.
I'll if I can see him, I'll do it now.
Yep, yes you can. Go for it. Do it.
I don't know what.
Do it.
Do it. 13.
Wait.
Oh yes, yeah, you are elven accuracy. 19.
19.
And you get the sneak attack as well. You pop up again. There's the quick pull of the trigger from your hand crossbow of the Raven Queen. As the dart flies over, it gets a solid shot sort of in the side of the neck here.
I'd like it to skim past Mr. Black.
Past the ear, he hears the distinct whistle of this bolt fly past him as it gets the Goliath in the neck. There's a good spurt of blood. The Goliath still stands as the Goliath pulls the bolt from his neck. Just throws it on the ground.
He's still standing.
He is.
Jesus.
He is a tank of a man. The crewmen continue their fighting. Fortunately, the Silver Serpent crewmen, being better skilled, do start to fell a few of the more... they are more pirate than military crew, whereas have you seen the Mr. Black's or Captain Black's crewmen are more militaristic. They have tactics, they know how everyone works, they know how to fight.
And they're sober.
And they're sober.
I'll hide over there. Do you just roll a hide?
Yes, a stealth check again, because once again, with you popping up and firing, he's going to be a 28.
Yeah, 28.
Yep.
As again, with you moving around so much, he's unable to keep a pin on where you are.